We're live now? As soon as, okay, we're about ready to start. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's June 16th. It's 6:01 p.m. It's our regular council meeting for the month of June. We do have a quorum here, and also Will Warren is online. He's on the phone here. Guess what? I'm getting a red light on this mic. So, Will, we're going to fix you. But anyway, I would like to ask Patsy Morris if she would please lead us in an invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Holy and gracious God, we are so grateful for this day. We praise you, we honor you. We thank you for all of our blessings. We thank you particularly for the community where we live. It's very beautiful, Lord. And we thank you for those persons who are willing to take the time to support and lead this community. Father, we ask you to raise up others, too, who are concerned and who are willing to share their knowledge and their expertise in helping the country, to help our community. Father, one thing we would ask you to bring us some rain. We really would appreciate it. It's awfully dry. We ask you, God, to bless those persons in our community, particularly Mary Jo McNeil, who's suffering with illness. We lift her up to you for strength and for healing. Father, be with us now so that all that we do may be pleasing to you. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will, I think you're going to have to turn the volume down on your YouTube because it's giving feedback. We're here.
I did.
Okay, thanks, son. All right. Are there any communications from the audience? Oh. We're checking. No. There are none. So we'll proceed with the consent agenda items. Is there anything that you would like to remove from the consent agenda? Okay. No one has anything to remove from the consent agenda, and therefore it will be adopted as is. First on our regular agenda is information and report, updated certified estimates of taxable value. And we have the honor to have David Luther with us, who is our county appraiser. And I had actually put this on the agenda last month to see if maybe he could come, but the agenda got so crazy, it wouldn't have worked. We would have been here till midnight. But he has come tonight, and I'm going to turn it over to him so he can kind of give us a little bit of an update on what's going on with our values.
Yes, sir. There we go. There we go. Well, thanks, as always. It's good to be with you, to be able to get out into the communities that we serve and talk to the leaders and the people that also have concerns. I had sent out a preliminary estimate of value a few weeks ago, and it went out at rounded off $85 million. I was a little concerned about that. This has been the strangest year in 45 years that I've been doing this with what people are paying for property, not just here, but across the state and across the country. And I'm not sure, I know what's caused it, but it's been nerve-wracking, I guess, to try to figure out where we need to settle in with our values. What I've got today, we're sending out our appraisal notices tomorrow for about 12,000 of them or so. It's 15,000 total. We'd already sent out to mineral and industrial properties. The values are not going up as much as I thought that they would, but they're still going up, and people will have questions and concerns about that. Right now, I'm sitting close to $90 million in value
Okay.
as of today, from the numbers we
Yeah,
ran.
because when you first sent that out, it was basically the same as was last year, pretty much.
Right, right.
Now it's up to 90.
I always cheat a little because when we send out the notices, people have a right to come in and talk to us. If we don't agree with them or they don't agree with us, then they can go on to the review board. So there's always potential for changes to happen. And I always arbitrarily hold some value back to try to account for that. So if that all works out okay, you'll have some more value added to that as well. I'm not sure what else to say. Because of the unusual year, and in all of my years of doing this, I've never sent out a memo or a letter or anything with the notices. This year, I do have one going out to kind of explain what we do, where it comes from out of the Constitution, what the legislature did. This year, we're 40 years old since we were created. There's always a demand to legislators to change the system to try to bring it under control, make the chief appraiser an elected position, or just all kinds of things that they will go back to Austin and file legislation on. Generally, nothing happens because every bill that comes out of the legislature to be considered has to have a cost estimate or a fiscal note, that's what they call it, attached to it. So when they go and say we're going to increase the homestead exemption or we're going to hold the cap to 5% per year instead of 10% per year, when the costs come into that is huge because the state has to make up the difference for school districts. So if I artificially lower the values for an entire school district and you do it across the state, you're talking about huge amounts of money. And obviously the legislators are not going to pass something that they will be tacked with or saddled with an increase in state taxes. So when that happens, then nothing really happens to do that. They always, at the end of the legislative session, when they realize they didn't really do anything, they always appoint a committee to do things in the interim, and they study everything. I see if I can find it here. Different experts would come testify, be property owners, school finance experts, economists, lobby groups, and on and on and on. And the purpose would be to study appraisal reform, property tax exemptions, property tax system reform, revenue caps, homestead caps, school finance, appraisal review board form, and on and on. They come out after they travel the state, and they come out with a nice little report that then goes to all the legislators in time for the next legislative session. Then we go through the same thing all over again. That's the reality. If you've never been to Austin and watched legislation walk through the process, it's absolutely amazing. In 1997, George Bush was our governor, and he appointed a blue ribbon committee, that was what he called it, to travel the state. I was real active in our legislative session with our association, so I got to go to 12 of the 14 places that the committee went to, and I got to hear a lot of the testimony. And you might imagine the testimony you hear in Harlingen, Texas is going to be a lot different than in Amarillo, Texas. But it was real good to see the diversity in the state. But there were two that I heard that I thought were kind of telling. If you've never been through a committee process with the legislature, they're all lined up in front of you, and then you start talking, and one might get up and go get a cup of coffee, or somebody might come in the back door that needs to talk to one of them. He'll get up and then go talk. And there's just a lot of movement going on. But at one point, this lady was talking, elderly lady, and there wasn't but like 2 or 3 members left. They had kind of disappeared. And she turned around to the audience and said, "Oh, good, I'm glad somebody's listening." And man, those people started coming back in, and they sat down on their seats and listened to her the rest of the time. The other one that struck me interesting was in Amarillo. A man got up and invited all of the committee members to go back home, that they didn't really need them because they were closer to 5 other state capitals in Austin, so, which was kind of, I didn't realize that, but so that's kind of the experience. Those committees are done every other year. We have new legislators, we have new leaders, and they don't realize the history that's already been captured. I mean, you can go find those old reports, and they're still just as good today as they were back then. What does come out of those is things like a new chief appraiser, when he gets appointed, needs to go to a chief appraiser institute. So you got to go to an intense course on teaching you how to be a chief appraiser. They made appraisal review board, the people that hear you protest. They made them have mandatory training initially when they first get appointed, plus they have to have mandatory training as continuing education every year. They strengthened the truth in taxation laws, so you only get to go up 3.5% instead of 8% like you used to. They really clamped down about 4 years ago on the entities to try to hold down their spending. They kind of messed it up along the way in doing it, but that was one of the things that they
And they don't take into consideration the inflation that we're dealing with.
no, it's just numbers on a paper, and however it comes out, that's the way they want it. But I've never understood why further educating the chief appraiser, training the appraisal review board members, and anything like that, telling us the methods and procedures that we have to use. I've never understood how any of that leads to property tax relief.
It's a way to spend more money.
It makes us follow the books, that much closer. But they'll go and have pride in passing legislation that says, "Oh, we're going to make them be accountable now." I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, what about that proposition that was that we voted on in May about?
Well, that's one of the things that comes out of these committees: increase the homestead exemption.
Well, but there was this proposition that wouldn't you like to see the ad valorem taxes?
Oh, that was a Republican.
Within 10 years,
Yeah.
that there be no ad valorem tax and no income tax.
Yeah.
Where's the money going to come from?
Yeah. I don't know.
Of course, everybody's going to vote.
Indian reservation, maybe. I don't know. That's always a big issue. I mean, there's 3 big sources of money: sales tax, income tax, and property tax.
Yeah.
Property tax has been around a very long time.
Well,
100 years.
Yeah, somebody said the sales tax is going to be outrageous.
Yeah. Sales tax was put in the early 60s as a temporary 4% tax.
Uh-huh.
It never has gone away, and it's now 6 plus whatever you get to collect on the local level.
Yep.
But anyway, it's good to know the history. The propositions that we voted on recently, one was to increase the homestead exemption for schools from $25,000 to $40,000. Our appraisal was zoomed right on by that. I mean, it's like not really getting anything because the values keep going up and up and up. And, $15,000 is not a lot when your value's going up, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 over time. So the good part about your investment being appreciating in value hurts you when it comes to talking about paying property taxes on that same value. But anyway, the sheet that's going out with the notices tomorrow kind of gives a basis of what we do, where it comes from. It's right out of the Constitution. And it Constitution then gives the legislature authority to decide how they're going to do it. So all that is handed to us, and that's all we're doing is following that. Anyway, hopefully it's going to be, as my boss, that it's going to be well received, I hope. And people may throw it away.
I read it. Did council have any questions for David?
The thing that comes to me is the no new I'm sorry, the no new revenue thing that we dealt with last year. Is that in place too?
Still there.
Okay.
Still there. And that's kind of misleading. The theory behind it is if you collected $1 million in taxes in 1 year, then they're going to limit you to $1 million in taxes the next year. But we're going to make some adjustments first because some property may not be there anymore that was there before, so we got to take it out of the equation. Any new properties that were built, it wasn't there the year before, so you can't compare those, so you got to take it out of the equation. Any new exemptions that are granted, wasn't there before, you got to take that out of the equation. So that whatever's left is a apples-to-apples comparison of properties and their value. So you're going to get some new revenue from the new properties, obviously, but they give you that the first year. And the theory behind that is growth causes more of a demand on government services. So they let you have that the first year, and then it becomes part of the foundation part. Anyway, they call it no new revenue, and you can't exceed it. If you do, you go up 3.5%, but you got to have a hearing. If you exceed that, then voters have to vote on it. And then by the time the voters get it, they can't understand what we're talking about. It's
Do they still have that?
several pages of calculations, and it's real frustrating.
Do they still have that de minimis rate?
The
That
what?
de minimis rate?
Yes.
Is that still?
Still have that and the enrichment rates, where you get to bank some that you didn't use the year before,
Oh, okay.
which helps you out on the rollback part of it. Trying to think if there's anything else. As far as our office, I lost my appraisal supervisor. She's now chief appraiser at Hardin County down in Kuntz. And then she took with her my senior appraiser. So all of a sudden I ended up with half a staff, and then I fired a lady that didn't know she was supposed to be at work some of the time. So we were down to
nice.
one, and now I'm back up to four. And so we got some new people. We met today for a long time about when people come in, how to talk to them and not get ugly, and if they get ugly, try to balance that and say, no, look, I'm here to help. If you can tell me something wrong with your property, cracked slab, don't like your neighbor, whatever. And I think it'll be real good. These last couple of people I hired have really good personalities, and I think it's going to help. So we've had all kinds of challenges. I couldn't have come last month anyway. I ended up with COVID, so I was out for
Good you're here and healthy.
10 days. I had some symptoms, but not real bad. But I overcame that.
Well, thank you, David. We so
Questions?
appreciate it.
Anybody have any?
Are there any questions from anybody, actually? I don't mind people asking questions. It's,
Our notices go out tomorrow, so don't let the 30 days go by.
if you
I
want.
make a statement in this insert that I have in there. Don't let what I say here cause you not to protest or call us. If you're uncomfortable with what we've done, either send in the protest so that you're protected in the 30 days, because we're not going to be able to see everybody in 30 days, or come on in. So we're encouraging people to go ahead and protest even if they just have questions. because we're not going to be able to handle all the phone calls and all the people that
Right.
want to come in within 30 days. Trying to think I can't think anything else.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, David, greatly.
So if
You might
someone
want me
is
to come
upset,
back.
Huh?
You might want me to come back and,
Oh, I'm sure when we get
August.
closer through the process, yeah.
I'm supposed to certify or the review board's supposed to finish their work by the 20th of July, and then I'm supposed to certify by July 20th. Obviously, we're going to be running right up against that deadline just for people to file their protest. So I'll have some estimates out. The legislature did give us some authority to go ahead and certify estimates to the entity so they can go ahead and start their budget work.
Right,
Uh,
right.
So
We appreciate it.
I've worked with some of the Ivanhoe property owner people trying to get things straightened out. We spent some time identifying properties and things of that sort. So
Yeah.
I think we're better off on that now.
Mr. Luther, somebody gets their report tomorrow and they're not happy, can Monday, they just walk in?
They can.
Okay.
They
They don't have to make an appointment. Oh.
You know, they may choose to just drop off their paper and call me later, or,
Okay. But it's okay to come in, don't have to make an appointment.
no, you don't need an appointment.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. They're not gonna get it tomorrow, they're going in the mail tomorrow, so probably not gonna get it till Tuesday because the post office is closed on Monday.
Yeah.
So,
Another holiday. Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. Okay, any other questions for David? Thank you so much.
All right.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it, David. Thank you. All right, moving right along, it's my report. As David mentioned, Monday is a holiday. It's Juneteenth, so our office is going to be closed. It always is anyway, so just thought I'd let you know. It's a little humor. Okay, and I realize I'm not going to be here for the July meeting, Tommy.
Wonderful, we won't have one.
There you go. No, we're going to be going on a cruise, and we had planned this cruise a long time ago, and it was before we changed the meeting dates from the second Thursday to the third Thursday, so I planned it for right after council meeting. Well, guess what? Tommy's going to do the meeting next time. Our workshop for the comprehensive plan, the second half of that comprehensive plan is scheduled for the 22nd. At 4 p.m., so don't forget, council members, that I think it was really, really beneficial for us to go over that together. It's given us a lot of insight, a lot of ideas, and kind of a plan to move forward. So we'll be doing that. DebtCog's annual meeting is this coming Thursday in Lufkin. And it's kind of a big deal, and so if any council members want to go, everybody's been invited. There's an invitation to city council members. So if anybody wants to go, it's a luncheon, and it's $25 a head. And just let me know if you want to go, because we have to RSVP. Today, I was at a meeting of the Texas Forest Country Partnership, and I was talking to Manuel Martinez, who's the TDA rep. That's Texas Department of Agriculture. And we got our grant for the fire truck through TDA, and we're also the CDBG grants are always through TDA. That's the 375, or was it 350 or 375? 350. 350. It used to be 275, but now it's 350, and we'll be getting that grant next year. But anyway, I was talking to him, and he wants to come out and take a picture of the fire truck, for their album or whatever. And also, I'd like you all to meet him, and he could kind of explain some of the things that can be done through TDA. That was good. The other thing, Jill had sent us an email, and she sent it a while back, but it looks like we can use those ARPA funds, you know, that $350,000, $355 or whatever it is. It can be used toward our match on that $11.5 million grant. Our match on that $11.5 million is $100,000. It's a 1%, which, you know, compared to the 11 million, 100,000 sounds like not much. You know, it's kind of all relative. We're getting spoiled. But anyway, she did say that it looks like you can use that money for a match. So that 100,000 that we're responsible for out of that 11.5 million can come from that pot of money. And I'm really going to be working with her to find out more, her and Judy, and to find out more about what we can actually utilize that money for. You know, we hired them as our grant administrator so that we make sure that we do everything according to Hoyle. That's about it for my report. So we'll move along to item number 3, consider session action Supervisor of Dams report. Rusty, you're on. Are you hearing everything, Will?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Mayor, City Council, there's nothing going on the dams. We're waiting for water.
What a concept.
That's really about it. Will has gotten an outfit to cut the grass down there below Tristan where all those trees got cut down.
Mm-hmm.
And also looking into see if they have a machine that eats up everything, you know, kind of a stump grinder, but a small outfit, and they're lined up, and you just eat your way through whatever.
Yeah. You can't use a regular stump grinder to sink in the...
No, you'd be down there for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
it is a good thing.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Any questions for Rusty?
Did Chance ever get out there and finish Charmaine?
No.
Still waiting?
It takes him a while to get that material.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Stuff called fire call, if I remember right. And it takes a while to get it. Plus, you got to have the primer and the stuff.
Well, you know, if he'd come out here, it'd rain. And he wouldn't be able to work.
We
You're
need
right.
the rain.
I'm going to mention that. I'm going to mention that to Jim because it's probably true, and he would bite on that. Yeah.
That's a good one, Tommy. Thank you. Thank you, Rusty. Appreciate it. Report on municipal court activity. Judge Rader left her report on your desk or on the tables. Total fines collected this month were last month it was $381. Total fines retained by the city, $234.43. Year-to-date fines collected was $6,526.20. Previous year-to-date was $7,100. So that's pretty much, she put all the detail in her report, but I'm not going to go through all that. So next on the agenda is the City Marshal office activity. Terry is coming.
The report you just gave, Mayor, on the fines compared to, we had over 92 calls last month. 57 of them were taken by me, 34 of them by Drum, 1 by Jim, and several by Bob, our new deputy. And believe me, next month the judge and the secretaries are going to have fun because he's been
Real busy.
out there. So, other than that, out of the 92 or 100 calls we had, the sheriff's office only gave us 24. And the other part was the body cameras. They were ordered, but they're building them, and that's the only thing we're waiting on.
That's what we got the grant for, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Very
Because
good.
I was talking to Jackie earlier because I hope we get it done soon, because remember a couple of years ago, we had a grant and they took it away from us because all the stuff that's going on in the state of Texas. I don't want them to say, hey, we ain't gonna give it to you.
Yeah,
So we're on that right now. Other than that, that's it.
thanks, Terry,
Uh-huh.
appreciate it greatly. Okay, consider discussion action, Public Works Report. Mr. Marshall.
And we're praying for rain. We're doing good. A couple of things. Holly had been taking care of some things on our works that we got changed. One of them is a new feature that gives us the time frame between when a work order was initiated, when it goes to in progress, and also when it goes to completed, down to the actual minute. So, we get them 5 days or so. We're getting better and better with that. We're getting to them quicker. We've put a new scheduling process in place, and it's working really, really well. The guys know what they're doing a week ahead of time. So it's not just come in and, well, what are we doing today? With that and that system and able to look and see where we're at on our works, we've had 10 working days this month so far, and we have closed out 15 work orders.
Wonderful.
So we're doing better, faster, more efficient. That comes out to 1.5 work orders a day. And keep in mind that some of these work orders are a full day, day and a half, 2 days. Just depends what the situation is. So we're very proud of that. I think last report we had 27 work orders left on the board. As of today, we have 17. So we're getting there. We're finally getting caught up. That's dang sight better when we first started, when we had 45 and 50 on board. We're getting them knocked out. Bear with them. It is hot out there, and the guys are working their tails off. And we took a temperature shot where they were working on the road. The road itself was up to like 160. So you can imagine out there all day long. And I can't keep them down. So kudos to our crew. They're doing a fantastic job. The dump truck has been repaired. We've got the parts in. It wasn't anything that was keeping it off the road. It was keeping it from being inspected, which kept us off the highways and dodging Terry and his bunch all day. But it is ready. We are going to get it inspected tomorrow. When we do, then we can start hauling the ash material. And we have many places that we've already got outlined for that where it will work, I think, really, really well. So we'll keep you posted on that. I don't have to tell you the temperatures and what they're expected to be next week. 4 days above 100, one of them as high as 103, but thank goodness I think that's on a Saturday. So if you see the guys taking breaks, I have told them, take frequent breaks, so they're not sloughing off.
Do you have plenty of water for them all the time?
We do. What?
We ought to talk about an ice machine too.
That one doesn't work?
No.
It does not work for them at
Oh.
all.
No, it's in bad
Yeah,
shape.
We need to seriously contemplate putting an ice machine out there for those guys.
right.
We've got a place for it. That's why I was looking at that one earlier. And I think so far, and CD mentioned the fact that get a Manawak, and after doing some reviews and reading on them, yeah, they come with a 3-year warranty, parts and labor. The Beaver, John, I think you'd mentioned that. The complaints on them is they just don't hold up. The ice melts rather quickly because it's not a freezer. And
What we needed was one with a freezer
Yeah.
bucket inside.
Yeah. The Vivo, whatever it was, one of the biggest complaints was the ice melts so fast that it runs out the bottom of the door. So kind of shied away from those. I've been looking, because you and I have talked about this. Unfortunately, the cheapest Manawak that I have found that would suit our needs is, I guess they can call that an under-the-counter if you took the legs off. Are running anywhere from 22 to 23 and a half.
100.
Is that right? Yeah, they're expensive, but they're a good one. They're a good one. But we can talk about that. Appreciate it, Skip. Thank you. I didn't know you cared so much.
I don't.
Okay.
No mistake,
Okay.
So,
Are we talking 2,300 or 1,000?
Yes, sir. 22 to 2,300.
Well, why are we not buying one?
we need to.
Yeah, we just need to get it done. I mean, especially with this weather.
Yeah.
It's going to be brutal next week. It
Have they
really
been getting
is.
ice from the fire department or what?
No.
No?
No.
Well, they need ice. Okay, go ahead and get.
That's
we'll
a
talk.
discussion for another
Okay.
day.
Yep.
There's two sources. The prices are the same. I'm going to look close because I think one of them actually does free shipping, and so that would hold water because the thing weighs like 90 pounds or 105 or something
Is
like
that
that.
Amazon?
No. This is fairly local from Houston, so we could get it quick.
As big as this one or bigger?
This one will put out 135 pounds of ice in a 24-hour period. It has a storage capacity of 90 pounds, which is great. 10-pound bags, 9 bags of ice. You can turn it off, turn it on, set it to where it automatically goes off and comes on every 4 hours, 6 hours, 8, or just let it go 24.
Okay.
Well, once it's full, it would cease making ice.
Yes. Now, one thing that they both say on both websites, this will automatically add to the cart a water filter, which Manawak highly recommends.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how much that is, but we'll
Well,
look
we
at it
got a
and see.
filter on this one. You have to
Yeah.
have a filter on
You
it.
have to, yeah. We'll look at it and see. Thank y'all for considering that. Appreciate it. We'll move forward with that. Great. You just made a bunch of friends down there. Gulf Coast will be here Tuesday morning, June 21st, to repair the hole in the road that was done by the geotech boring survey people.
Yeah, why
trying
did
to
they
get.
do that?
I have no idea.
That
Nobody
was the
knows.
new road.
They got a pretty good chewing over it from LJA.
Okay.
They said you could have moved 3 more feet and been out of that. I don't know. But I know a lot of people were not happy about it, and they lined them out pretty good from what I understand. They're going to come in, they're going to saw cut an area, and we'll have another patch there. But talking to Victoria, she said there's a pretty good chance that we can get that seal coated as well to where it blends in a little better.
With the fog seal,
Yes. This is on
the new
the
bridge.
downhill side of the low water crossing.
on the inbound lane. Yeah.
Yeah.
We discovered it one afternoon. It wasn't there that morning, but evidently whatever they had put
I
on
saw
there
them when they
came
were out
off.
there, but the hole was already there.
Yeah,
so
it's too
I
late.
kept going.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Okay. 2 more things. The old Dodge pickup is kaput. Won't start, won't run, falling apart, rusted
I
apart.
thought it died last year.
Well, I think CD was trying to find some way to put it online up for sale, but it is taking up valuable real estate that we could use. The other thing with that is we also have 2 of the old Packers that we paid like $300 for that would not do the job.
The Tampers.
The Tampers, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
for sand, and we wore both of those out. They're trash. We also have an old, rusting and not working brush hog. The deck on that is rusted through, and it's been patched many, many times. The other thing we have is a 10-foot section of that 60-inch culvert. I've tried to sell it back to the culvert people, but they make good sense when they said, who in the world wants 10 foot of a 60-inch culvert? So we're kind of stuck with it. We need to figure either get rid of it.
That takes up a lot of room, too.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of room. These are not pressing issues, but something maybe we could take a look at to kind of give us a little bit more room out there. The other thing, let's see. Let me say that I'm grateful for everything that council, Kathy, that you have done, Skip with the building, and the rest of you guys I know have all pitched in and helped and got us things that we need. We are unbelievably grateful and thankful. We try not to ask for anything more than what we need, but sometimes we need just a little bit more. You knew this was going somewhere. I kept a record just this morning from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. I was without signal on that computer or the tablet for a little over an hour. This is very, very aggravating when I'm trying to build this stuff out and get things going, because we do so much of it on iWorks. 95% of what we do down there is on iWorks, or looking up ice machines.
So that's Verizon.
And that's with the hotspot on the phone. It just comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. So you figure that's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours a day that if I'm in the middle of a work order, it just stops and then comes up, no signal, reload.
We need to get internet out there somehow to them.
Are you talking about in the office?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not talking about on the field, because you're...
No, I'm talking about in the office. A lot
Okay,
of times
those are, that tablet is
Mhm.
through Verizon.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is with Verizon.
Right.
Well, if
Right.
it's a poor signal, there's nothing you can do about that.
And this has been going on for some time. Sometimes. Now, I can walk out and go sit at the picnic table, and it...
Is that a metal roof there?
No,
No, it's not.
not on the building. Under where the picnic table is metal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, that could affect your signal, too.
It could. It could.
The
Just-
structure of the building can interfere with it.
Sure. If there's any possible way that maybe we could look into some type of internet out there through Rarity or whatever, it would make life a lot faster, easier, more efficient, and better. If we could just look at that, I would be, again, grateful and thankful. It is aggravating to have to stop. These were like 9:27 or 9:17 it stopped, came back on at 9:27, 9:40 to 9:51, 9:55 to 10:05. I mean, it's just every few minutes. It's really hard to
Speaking for
get
myself,
rolling.
I would have thrown the iPad against the wall. And
I
less
thought
time
about
than
it,
that.
but then I knew I was going to have to face the wrath of the mayor. So
we need
I
to get
did
we need to
not.
get internet out there with Rarity or somebody.
Yeah, and now, I'm sorry. I mean, right now would be the ideal time, I think, with the IT guy here going through our stuff.
Yeah.
Why can he not go out there and see what the problem is? I mean, he's the expert. Let's get him out there and say, okay, this is what your problem is. This is what's
If
creating
it's
it.
signal strength, it's nothing that he can do. It's
Right.
Verizon. Then he needs to have a strong signal coming into the building. It needs to be inside the building.
Mhm.
If he goes outside, he probably has a good Verizon signal. When he goes inside to sit at his desk and do his work, he doesn't have a signal. There's nothing that anybody can do about that, except provide him with a workable internet or access to internet.
Okay, then, if you bring this up tomorrow,
Mhm.
and we'll do some investigating.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'll come in and do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that.
And if you're worried about security, there are software programs that you can load onto there. I will put it on mine Surfshark is one of them that insulates me from the outside world.
Yeah, we get enough interruptions without a bunch of junk jumping on there. Okay, I will do that. I will do
We'll follow up with that.
that. I think that's it.
We had talked a while back about an attachment to go on the Bobcat, like a rototiller that would chew up the road.
Kathy's favorite, what do you call it?
Grinder
upper.
Grinder
The
upper.
grinder
I have
upper.
technical terms for all of this stuff. We have a packer downer, but we don't have a
We don't-
grinder upper.
Right,
So-
right.
I mean,
Right.
what would be the advantages of having that, and what do they cost?
I know at this point we've been discussing a couple of roads.
Well, if I'm out of order or it's already being discussed, then I don't need to belabor it. I'm just thinking out loud.
Well, that's the other
road.
thing that, David and I were talking today, was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
About, we need to start working on Friar Tuck and either 27th or 28th, probably 28th Street is the most used. And we really have to start addressing that. And what he was asking is, what's our budget? Where are we with our budget? And this is one thing, CD and I talked today.
For
We're gonna-
equipment or material or just?
Material, yeah,
Yeah.
material. We need to really look at bottom line where we are with our budget so that we can see, what we can do with that and these other things. Let's talk about all that. CD and are getting our heads together tomorrow.
Okay.
I have a little bit of a difficult time with the way these reports are set up, figuring out what's what.
Oh, I do too, yeah,
And so
Yeah,
we're
it's
going to
tough.
dedicate, it's,
yeah.
Well,
David says,
yeah,
okay,
thanks,
how much
CD.
is there in the budget? Give,
Oh,
I don't know.
Wouldn't it be a capital expenditure, though?
What, the grinder upper?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
But
absolutely.
we don't know how much is in there because I can't read the thing.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what-
So we'll figure it out. So
But it's
let's,
worth having
let's
the
sit down
conversation.
tomorrow and go over all these things.
okay,
Bring
sounds good, okay.
But that's a
I'll
good
get with
idea.
you
I
on
want a
time.
grinder upper.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. What we've been doing is using the motor grader with the scar fires
Yeah.
and going through and ripping up the road like we did on Friar Tuck right after we got it and went back with some material. And it works great. It's just very time consuming because unless we're going to spend 2 days out there on 100 foot of road just going over and get it into manageable pieces with your grinder upper, that would do the same thing.
And then can't you put your packer down there
And we can put the packer downer. We can reuse that material as a
Right.
field right there without having to haul it off and find a place to put it. So it would be beneficial, absolutely.
Do you use the big roller packer downer?
Yes, sir.
I think.
The mobile packer downer?
Yeah, the mobile packer
Gotcha.
downer. The Friar Tuck, from what I understand from the fire department, is impassable. So, I mean,
It's bad.
yeah.
Well, and that brings up another point. That's where the 4-inch water line
Yeah,
is
that's-
for them
they-
to fill their trucks up.
That's what they were saying. That needs to be fixed so they can actually get up there to fill their trucks up.
Mhm.
So that would be a good place for the grinder upper and packer downer.
Absolutely.
Okay? Now, keep in mind, this,
I'm glad y'all are educated.
if my previous coworkers could hear me talking about this equipment as packer downers and grinder uppers.
Everybody understands that.
That's true.
It's a technical term.
It is, it is.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a magic machine. It only goes about 8 inches, which would be more than enough for us out here.
Yeah.
And it will grind up, concrete, oil sand, asphalt, everything you need. Now, there is some maintenance that goes along with this. Those teeth that go on there, they have to be replaceable. It's not,
Well,
have to
especially
go
if you-
take a loan out at the bank, but it's
You don't want to be grinding up concrete with it.
We don't
Well,
have any out here.
Oh, people,
yes,
you'd
we
be
do.
surprised what people have put in potholes.
yes, we've
No,
found a lot of
we-
interesting
we
things. in
never
this.
Yeah,
put
you're
concrete.
right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
stand
it'll
corrected.
do concrete, no problem. I'm just saying that these teeth they have to be replaced from time to time. And depending what you it can wear them out faster or normal rate.
Well, it is what it is.
That's
You
it.
just
That's it.
plan for it.
That's it. Any special time tomorrow you available, or?
I'm going to be here all day tomorrow, so.
Okay. I'll jump in and we'll go over that. Okay, any questions about the roads?
I think I'm done.
Okay, I talked to Rusty just a while ago about if he wanted us to spray herbicide the dams where the grass is coming through the cracks, and you were agreeable to that? Okay.
Okay.
So we can take care of that
Thank
too.
you.
Okay,
Thanks, David.
appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Report on monthly code enforcement activity. Jackie,
Hi, Jackie.
Hello.
so good to have you back.
It is, it really is.
All right. Well, since I've been back, I've been a little bit busy. Kept John super busy. We actually went to a conference Friday and to help with code enforcement, abandoned structures, things like that. Had real eye opener with all that. Hopefully we can use a lot of that to help take care of some of these outstanding code enforcement violations that we've had pending for a long time. So we're going to be working on that. Before I left, we had 120 cases open. We now have 133 cases open. We have 11 cases that we closed. And we've had a couple new things. We found a electric fence this month, so that's a new one that we had.
Is that not allowed?
No.
Okay.
Not when it's up perimeter, up front, no animals that it's trying to keep in, anything like that. So, no.
It's like invisible fence, it's not an invisible fence.
Correct.
Okay.
So. And then we've actually had some good activity with some of the properties that people have bought, and they live out of state, and it's pretty much that they bought it and just let it go, and then there may be abandoned vehicles, abandoned structures, stuff like that. We've actually had a pretty good bit of those people after I started sending out certified letters, letting them know that they were going to get fines if they didn't start getting it cleaned up. And we've actually had people coming, fixing things, so that's a real good step in the right direction.
I did notice the school bus moved again.
Yeah, we went from here to here.
That's a whole nother troublesome thing anyway. So, I just want to thank John, because I don't know that he actually gets paid for everything that he does, but he has really been helping a lot.
Well, he gets $10 a month.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know.
well, then we won't worry about. But no, he truly has been helping out so much. It's been greatly appreciated. So he's had to tolerate me since I've been back and all that too. So
We all missed you.
does anybody have any questions? Any troublesome properties or anything like that? Make sure you're giving me a call so we can try to follow up with them. Anything? Everybody's pretty quiet today. Nothing from council?
Actually, council is who you need to direct to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not public, at council meetings.
Okay.
That's the procedure. But thank you, Jackie. She works so hard.
I just make it look like I am.
You're really good at it.
good job.
Thank you. Okay, consider discussion action authorizing establishment of a code enforcement officer position. Mr. Craven.
Yes,
Councilman Craven.
yes, thank you, Mayor. City Council, I would like to make a motion that the City Council approve Jackie Black to be the code compliance official, and take the 1-year code enforcement training to become the city's code enforcement officer.
He's talking about the training that Joe did. So we got a motion and a second. I don't think there's any question. Huh? Tommy?
Well, we know when Joe was here, the code enforcement officer in Jasper was one he worked under for the year. So I'm assuming that they'll
Yeah.
probably be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, they have
That's
to
a-
work
that's-
under a mentor for a
Yeah,
year.
for a
That's
year.
a certification, right?
Yeah, and with that being said, the gentleman that trained Joe was no longer there, but Jackie contacted the other gentleman that took his place yesterday, day before, whatever. So we're
So,
waiting for him to get approval or something to come back and say yay or nay.
so I guess my question, Jackie, is to you, is this something that you want to do?
I believe so. I've
Okay.
pretty much been doing it.
Yeah.
Have the license to.
No, I mean the certification.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have,
Yeah, we're not making the decision without talking to her.
no, that's, well, I think
Let's
it's
see her
fair to
do it, whether
ask.
you like it or not.
I think it's fair to ask.
Yeah, oh, no. Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes unanimously. Consider discussion, action, planning, and zoning commission recommendations. You're on, Councilman Craven, again.
With that being said, we really don't have anything to present to the city council at this time. I want to thank Brad for getting back with us on some stuff that we sent him to look over, and we'll be reviewing that and incorporating that at our next P and Z meeting. So,
Thank you. Okay, consider for update discussion action, GLO MIT grant, that's 11.4 million, including property acquisition and drawdown. There really isn't anything new to report. You, CD included in our packet the expenses for this period. And, but that's all that we've got. We don't have anything on the property acquisition or anything so far. Oh,
For some reason, it's Tommy that gets to sign this.
I know, I saw his name on there. That's fine. I like that. I mean, he needs to practice because he's going to be leading the meeting next month. Okay.
Let's see, Mayor, if somebody would make the motion to approve the drawdown, so we can waive that process.
Okay. So, do I have that motion to approve the drawdown?
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, LJA, it's 39,218. And I'm not sure how,
83,502.50
For the total.
yeah.
total, okay. 83,502.50 is the total.
Oh, there it is, on the last page. The total's on the last page, there it is, okay, thank you. So all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, there's nothing on the 7.9 million, so we're gonna go ahead and skip number 11. Number 12 is consider,
Well, maybe we should talk about it.
Where's that extra coming from?
any comments, Will? That was good. Okay, number 12, consider discussion action, correction to renumber resolution 2022-8R to avoid duplication on debt cog signature and document authorization. This is a
So what's it
A
going to be
resolution-
changed to?
yeah, well, resolution, we passed this last time, but it was misnumbered. It was 2022-8R, and that was a duplication of a number. So we have to renumber it. It's the same
So
resolution.
what's it going to be?
2022-9R. When it was published last month and I signed it, it was 8R, and that was already utilized. So we need to have a new number. So that's what this is about. Do I have a motion to?
I'll make a motion that we change the resolution 2022-8R to 2022-9R.
There you go.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Did you hear that, Will?
Got it. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Number 13, consider discussion action financial report. CD, you are up.
So appreciative of Mr. Luther taking time out of his schedule, especially this time of the year, to come visit with us. And I know that it's so beneficial for folks to be able to see this on our YouTube channel, that what he has expressed, to kind of explain what's going to be going on, what's happening. Thank you, Mr. Luther. And council, okay, here we are, almost 3/4 of the way through our fiscal year. Quickly to review the treasurer's report. The state comptroller direct deposited $5,808.02 on 6/10 of 22 for our sales and use taxes that were collected in April, reported the comptroller last month. That amount is 12.16% less than was deposited last June. That amount last year was $6,612.79. But the good news, our overall tax collections year-to-date, on sales tax that is above last year. It's $60,847 this year compared to $59,028 last year.
What is the state controller's deposit from, and where are those dollars generated?
That's when you go to enjoy your adult beverage at Longhorn Liquor, or enjoy shopping at our Dollar General store, or partake of the good victuals that are at Vinnie's.
Okay.
The sales and use taxes from those operations. Yeah, so continue doing that. It shows up in our bottom line.
Oh, that's just for 1 month.
Let's see, the $5,808.02. And I'm thinking that some of that may have had to do with folks who are just now getting used to having the new restaurant up there after the closure of the barbecue place previously.
Yeah.
Our ad valorem taxes were received on the 11th of this month for May collections. $15,337.89 went to the general fund, and $3,465.47 went to our interest and sinking fund. That's to pay off the bond, our repayment schedule. That works out to a collection rate now of 85%. And compared to May of last year collections, when we had $11,218 go to the general fund, $2,701 and a few cents for the interest and sinking. So it shows that we had a significant increase from last year on the ad valorems. Thanks to David, his crew, and also to Miss Lynette Cruz and her crew. I know that right there at the front end of the year, everybody kind of gets overloaded for a bit, but now we're starting to get into that period of time when the tax collections kind of slow down a little bit. Between now and when the new tax notices go out and folks start paying for next year, it will continue to dwindle. Now, after Mr. Guest was here at the previous council meeting, they're going to be sending out their notices on delinquent taxes, and so we're probably going to see a little bit of a bump coming in July, maybe in August. Okay, we received delinquent tax payments for Ivanhoe North back in that 1 year of 2010, $183 and a penny. That leaves us a calculated balance of $5,338.46 as of the end of May to clear the books in Ivanhoe North. Now, that's a moving figure because interest and penalties will get added to it, and so it will change from month to month, along with any payments that come in. At the end of May, our total ad valorem collections for fiscal year 2022 are $635,684.97 for Ivanhoe and $328.83 for Ivanhoe North. Now, that's total based on payments for current delinquent taxes, and it includes both general M&O and the INS funds. So that's total collections. Our pledged securities at Citizen State Bank total $172,004, and that combined with the FDIC insurance protect all the funds that we have on deposit at Citizen State Bank, and we have $316,343 to spare. So if we suddenly come into a great deal of money, at least we'll have some maneuvering room up to $316,000. If we see something big like that, it's probably going to go to Tex class before it goes into Citizen State Bank. In the next month, I'm going to be requesting Mayor Bennett to transfer funds from the Texas Class General Fund account. Please don't get confused here because we're talking about the same general fund, same funds, but Texas Class General Fund generates a lot better interest rate than Citizen State Bank, so we keep most of the funds over in Texas Class until we need them and put them into the operating account, and that's what I'm referring to there. Let's see, right now we have about $45,000 in the operating account based on average expenses of around $30,000 per month. We're going to be looking at moving $50,000 from Texas Class over to Citizen State Bank, and hopefully that will carry us on our regular average usage through the end of the year, and that means we'll have some additional money to carry over next year unless Mr. Marshall decides to get that new truck he's been eyeballing.
So quick question.
Oh,
What's
and the
the
grinder
process
upper.
for the transfer of the funds? Is that a manual thing that you physically have to do? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you do it online, it's easy.
Okay, got you.
Okay. Follow-up discussion this morning with Ms. Pam Huggins regarding the transition from QuickBooks Online to QuickBooks Desktop with Davis Heinemann and Company to provide the monthly accounting review, also providing the monthly financial reports and handling payroll. That's currently being done by Andrew's Business Solutions. Shirley, that we've been with for a year and a half or a little bit more. With almost 3/4 of fiscal year 2022 being on the QuickBooks Online, consideration is now being given to making the transition at the end of this current fiscal year, simply because then we'd be able to close out this year with QuickBooks Online and move to QuickBooks Desktop. And that's going to be a little bit on the awkward side in the discussion with Ms. Huggins, because my vacation is scheduled right there towards the middle and latter part of September, and then the mayor is going to be taking off. So it's going to be kind of wild, I'm sure, but we'll make it.
Any charge again?
Well, that's what you get for canceling the cruise.
What this is working out to is a scenario has occurred in fiscal year 2021 audit where Kyle Heinemann at Davis Heinemann and Company converted our financials over into documents that the outside auditors could work with. As I expressed
Give
before.
you all the reports in the format that you need?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir. Absolutely. That's one of those ongoing itches that I just cannot seem to scratch enough to get rid of. Okay, as a result of all of that going on, we will be looking to issue legal notice for our new auditing firm for fiscal year 2022, since Davis Heinemann and them are going to be moving over to our accounting, or, well, that's expected, and that will be something that the council will be discussing, talking about as we get to that point with further considerations from Pam and Kyle from Davis Heinemann and Company. Okay, moving on. Mr. IT, that's Michael Ramsey. We left him over there with
Yeah, we
Terry.
locked the front door, he can't get out.
Oh, is he in here working?
He was here yesterday, the day before, and
Yeah.
he'll
he
be
got-
here
he
tomorrow
didn't
as
get
well.
here until almost 4 o'clock this afternoon, but
Yeah.
he's working.
He's in the process of converting our computers to Office 365. That's for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote, whatever. He's also setting up the @cityofivanhoe.texas.gov email addresses. I think Skip, you're already lined
Yes,
up with that. It's just ready to pull the trigger to fire off when everybody else is going live on that. Well, in the process, he's cleaned up items that have been slowing down several of those computers, but the laptops, like the one Tommy has, and they're scattered around through different departments, but those laptops are now 6.5 years old, and they only have 8 gigabytes of memory. They don't have enough memory to properly function with Windows 10
I
and
see
the other
4 gig in here
software.
too.
Sir?
I see a 4 gig memory in here too on the laptops.
Oh, yeah. Well-
That won't hardly get out in front of itself.
Whenever you think things like cybersecurity or the iWorks program that Holly's working with and the judge with her program, and she's constantly having to work with the software person, Brian or whatever his name is, because her computer seems to get thrown off or something goes haywire and she has to reboot and it goes
We
silly.
need to just go ahead and get additional RAM for all the computers.
Well, that's what Mr. Ramsey had estimated, $60 to $70 per machine to upgrade the memory to 12 gigabytes. But looking ahead to budget planning for fiscal year 2023, the city may consider purchasing desktops to replace those slow laptops in the judge's and the marshal's office. Additionally, the city has 2 desktops that do not officially belong to the city. One was set up by Rarity Solutions in order for the code enforcement department to get away from that slow-moving laptop that Jackie was working on. And
Are
now
those
she's got 2 screens that she's,
Are those the 2 that were stolen and the FBI wants back?
no, sir, those are the marshal's department.
Okay.
And I don't know where things stand on that.
Okay.
Let's see. Holly is supplying her own computer, an older desktop that she's using for permitting and other front office work because the laptop screen that she was working off of is so small with the iWorks program that she does most of her stuff for, along with the sign, the front sign, and the creative stuff that she's working on for the city and different departments and all. But yes, that machine runs slow. So that's something for consideration as the budget is being developed for next year. Now, the handout that I provided everybody is the Texas Class or Economic Review for June of 2022, as well as updated info on Federal Reserve activity, which shows that, interest rates are going to be going up. They raised it by 75 basis points, so there's a concern that it might slow the economy down so much that we go into something else besides what we're in now.
Yeah.
So really, that's my report, other than the big things is reconciliations, and I sent those out straight from Shirley when she sent those to me. And then, as the mayor said, we're going to be delving into the budget tomorrow to help folks realize where they are in their line items for the year.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the financial report?
I'll make that motion.
I second.
Okay, any questions, discussion? So you
Thank you, Mayor,
all
Council.
in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, CD. Is there any update on the Ontiveros legal proceeding? I don't think so, is there?
There is, but since it involves pending litigation, that needs to be discussed in executive session.
Okay. Okay, the next 2 items we're going to talk about in closed session, so we will be recessing for, it's 7:14 right now. We will be going into closed session to discuss these matters with our attorney. right. Yes, Switch back on. Okay. Okay, we are returning to open session. It is 7:25. That was a pretty quick closed session. Thank you, council members. Number 14, consider for discussion action the update on the Ontiveros legal proceeding was simply information from our attorney, so there's no action required. Number 15 is consider for discussion action property acquisition. This is something that we have talked about. There's some lots that have been offered to us that are actually outside of our city limits, that are over here on Camelot Drive. And the other side of the street isn't within the city limits. So we have decided that or we're talking about acquiring these, and for future use for the city. We're not sure exactly what it would be utilized for at this point, but we have several ideas. And it's really a good idea for the city to acquire these, because the first thing we'll do is annex them and make them part of Ivanhoe. So what we need to do is have a motion to move forward with the acquisition of these 4 lots.
I'll make that motion.
Is that okay? Okay. Do I hear a second?
I say,
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir. Okay, next on the agenda, are any communication or questions from the audience? No? Okay, council comments?
David, the gentleman that was doing the weed eating over here, I stopped and thanked him and told him he was doing a great job. He was in the Hummer doing the weed eating.
Gabriel?
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was actually told to stand down right after lunch, but he continued on working.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He's amazing, yeah. We
The whole road
do.
crew.
We have a crew that's
yeah.
outstanding. Oh, thank you, Patsy. We have a golf cart parade on July 2nd, and, we even had somebody ask if they could decorate their Jeep and get in it. And so we said, hey, open to whatever. You want to decorate whatever. One year we had a Segway. You want to decorate it and put it in the parade, hooray for you. It's about the fun. And we're going to do it at 10 o'clock in the morning on July 2nd, which is our Saturday, the day that we celebrate 4th of July.
There'll be fireworks.
Fireworks are in the evening, but this
On
is
the
going to be 10,
2nd.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Fire department will doing their fireworks. They used to do hamburgers in the afternoon, and that got to be an awful lot for them. But what we're going to do after the boat parade, when we get back here, we're going to be serving hot dogs, chips, drinks, and ice cream. Bluebell, we're going to get the little containers for $3. So come on out, everybody, and bring your family over, and it's going to be lots of fun. And get in the parade if you can, and or get out in the street and watch the parade as it goes by. We'll have a fire truck going out there prior to the parade to let everybody know that we're coming. So it'll be a fun thing. And this is sponsored by the theater group. By the way, our theater group is a 501c3 now. Okay, thank you, Patsy, for reminding me about that. Anything else?
Don't show up in July.
I make a motion to adjourn.
All right, do I have a second for that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thanks, Will.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you, CD. Thank you, Jack.
July canceled.